All right, welcome. Okay, welcome back. We are now, if you are watching these videos in series, we're now on the third video. And at this point, we're going to be talking about leverage, step 3 leverage. And going back to our definition of a successful business, where are we when we're talking about leverage? All right, at leverage, we've got a commercial, profitable enterprise that works. So that works piece means that we get the same results each and every time, regardless of who is doing that. And so to do that, we've got to have really good systems in place in our business. And that's how we build leverage, because the key to business success is leverage. So with a lever, you get more output with less input. And to do that, we divide to multiply. So if you recall from the video that you just saw with Dan, where he was talking about marketing leverage, we went from lead all the way down to profit, and we got that 61% increase by 10% compounded 5 ways. That was marketing leverage because we divided it into 5 different areas: your lead generation, conversion rate, number of transactions, average dollar sale, profit margin. That was building marketing leverage. But when we talk about it in your business, we want to take things that seem to take a really long time and break them into small pieces, improve each of those pieces, and we compound the effect and improve our business performance. So leverage, it's all about systems. So we like acronyms because they help you remember things. So systems is all about saving yourself time, energy, and money. And there's 9 steps to systematize your business. If you want to, read this book, Instant Systems, by our founder, Brad Sugars. But let's go through what those 9 steps are. So the first 3, vision statement, mission statement, culture statement. Those 3 together, and some people will say, well, that your value statement, that's also kind of what I consider part of culture. These 3 things together are really about the purpose of your business. So a lot of people say, I can't find good people. People don't want to come work for me. I can't seem to build a great team or keep a good team. And it's probably because you're not clear on what is the purpose of your business. So most Gen Zs out there nowadays and millennials, they want to work for a business with a purpose. So be clear on what the purpose of your business is. And it's this vision statement. So again, just to simplify things, a vision statement is like the summit of Mount Everest. What does your business look like from the top of the world? To get there is your mission statement. How are you going to get to the summit of Mount Everest? You're going to start at the base camp, go to camp 1, camp 2, camp 3, camp 4, and then you're going to hit the summit. So it's how you're going to travel to achieve that vision. And then the culture statement is, how are you going to work together as a team to get to the summit? Those 3 things together, that's the purpose of your business. Then we need to have SMART goals. So if you're not familiar with the acronym of SMART, it is specific, measurable, achievable, results-oriented, and time-bound. So when you set goals, they need to pass that SMART acronym so we can really understand when we have achieved those goals. Once we have SMART goals in place, we need to have an organization chart. So this is about understanding what are all of the roles that exist in your organization. And you may say, well, I wear many hats and other people on my team, they wear many hats. That is fine. Just define what each of those hats are, define them clearly, and what is the role that it looks like. Because as your business grows and builds and you add more people to your team, you will start to take off some of those hats to give to other people. Other people on your team who are wearing multiple hats will start to delegate those to other people. So be clear on what all of those hats are that exist in your organization. And then we have positional contracts that are tied to that organization chart. So some people ask, positional contract, is that a job description? And the job description is necessary, but it's not sufficient. We also need to know not only what you're going to be doing, like what are those typical tasks and responsibilities that are typical in a job description, but also we need to know how success will be measured in each and every role. Because when you hire people, you are paying for a result. So be really clear on the result that you are paying for, and that's what will be contained in that positional contract. So when it comes time for someone's performance review, it should not be any guesswork about whether they've done a good job or not. You've been very clear from day one on what success looks like. Usually how we measure that is through KPIs, which are key performance indicators. Those are the metrics that we're going to track success for each and every position in your organization. Then these first 7 steps, then we get to step 8, and that is about the how-to systems, the operating systems and execution systems in your business. So a lot of people just want to jump straight to, this is how we do things. But we've got to have these first 7 things, those first 7 steps, to have a solid foundation to build those how-to systems. And those how-to systems can be from very simple things like checklists for how to get things done to very complex systems. And even some people, businesses running on EOS, that's an entrepreneurial operating system. Big manufacturing businesses can have enterprise resource planning, ERP systems that operate their system that tie everything from their financials to their supply chain and everything in between, tie all of those things together, very complex systems. But they can be very simple to start out, the day-to-day things that get done, and those could be things as simple as checklists. Then the last thing of the nine steps to systematize your business is management systems. So beyond the execution, how do you manage your business? That should be some simple things like reviewing your financials on a monthly basis. So looking at your profit and loss, your balance sheet, your cash flow statement. Those are management systems. Having a sales meeting, maybe it's twice a month, where you review your sales pipeline. Having a marketing management system where you're looking at the effectiveness of your marketing strategy, what's working for you. So you look at the testing and measuring the results. All of those are different examples of management systems to manage your business. And then if you've got those 9 steps to systematize your business, the next question that you probably have is, where do you start? Well, there's 4 ways to build leverage and build systems in your business. And so we break it down into 4 key areas. So we want to have systems around people and education, because you always want to be building a better, stronger, more knowledgeable team. So we need to have systems around that. So everything from onboarding. So from day one, new employee walks in, what is the onboarding process to get that person up to speed in their position? They're, tied to their positional contract. And then we want to be people to develop and continue to grow throughout the course of their career with you. So we want to have growth and development systems so that people can add to their skill set and become more valuable to the business. We also have systems around systems and technology. So using technology to make people more productive in their job. So if we have a CRM, a customer relationship management software, that's something that we use to keep in touch with our customers and keep them coming back to us. And so a CRM is a way to keep in touch with them much more effectively and efficiently. That's another example of using technology to make us more productive. We also want to have systems around delivery, distribution. I'll also add service in here. So distribution, delivery, distribution, and service. And when we talked back at Mastery, back in the first video, step 1 was about, we talked about delivery mastery. And that was just the very simple factor of being on time and on quality to our customers' expectations. At this point, we want to pursue customer delight. And that's where we focus on systems around delivery, distribution, and service. Because when we are pursuing customer delight, if we can delight our customers, no one will take our customers from us, because business is a race. There's always somebody trying to pass you, take your customers away. And if you are pursuing delighting them, no one will surpass you. So how can you do that? How can you achieve customer delight? Well, simple thing is, start asking your customers, why do they do business with you? What can you do better? What can you do that you're not currently doing? So survey your customers, find out what you do well, what you could do better, and what you could do additionally that you don't do now. If you pursue those things, no one will steal your customers from you. The last area is about systems around testing and measuring. So back in video 2, Dan talked about testing and measuring our marketing strategies. we want to be testing and measuring everything on our business. So this is about continuous improvement systems, continuous improvement systems. So making things better and better. And that's how we do that through testing and measuring systems. So now we are up to step 4. And at step 4, back to our definition of a successful business. This is when we have a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. So the without you piece means we're focusing on a team. And so as a coach, this is what we help you build. So we focus on working with the owner. And when we work with the owner, to build a better team and support their team. And they do that by giving great direction and great leadership, paying the bills on time, staying profitable, paying their wages, giving encouragement, building good systems for them to operate. Because when the owner supports the team, then the team can support the customers. And they do that by providing great sales and service skills, great quality, great consistency. Because when the team supports the customers, now the customers support the business. And the customers support the business by coming back more often, number of transactions, spending more money each time, average dollar sale, and by telling their friends about you and everybody they know. And at the top of that ladder of loyalty, they become a raving fan and they become your virtual sales team. So that's where they're sending you referrals. That's all about lead generation, providing you more business. Because when the customers support the business, now the business can support the owner. And they do that, and the business supports the owner by giving you more profit and ultimately giving you more time to enjoy that with the people that you care about. So when we do those things, that's how we build a successful business. Now, keys to a winning team. So it starts with strong leadership. So the business owner needs to be providing great leadership to the team. And many business owners find themselves running a business with a team, and maybe they've never led anybody before. They've never been in a leadership position. Maybe they've never even supervised or managed people before. And so a lot of the times that can be deer in the headlights. So we have to take a hard look in the mirror and make sure you're providing the right leadership for the team. The next is we got to have a common goal. So everyone is pulling in the same direction. We don't have different agendas that we're working off of. Everyone's working towards that common goal. And in pursuit of that common goal, we've got rules for how we're going to work as a team. So kind of a subset of that culture statement for the business. It's more in this working team, how do we decide who's leading the team? Maybe it's a permanent, maybe it's a rotating leadership, but how do we decide who leads the team? How do we resolve team conflict? How do we decide who's doing what? All of those things, part of the rules of the game. Then the team needs to have an action plan. So we know who is doing what and by when, so there is mutual accountability. Everyone's got a role to play, and we're going to count on everybody to execute their role. And then fifth key is support risk taking. So because the team, back on the previous slide, is supporting the customers, they are going to see those opportunities to support the customer better. And so we want to support their risk taking, not reckless risk taking, but prudent risk taking. They're going to see that opportunity and give them freedom to step out and support the customer in a better way. And the sixth key to a winning team is 100% involvement and inclusion. So because everybody's on the team, everybody's included. So we don't have a special, group of a few key people that we work with. The entire team is included. And if everybody's included, it means everybody must be involved. They don't get a chance to say, I don't want to be involved in that. I'm going to go, sit in the corner on my phone. If you're on the team, you're also 100% involved. That's the key to a winning team. So if that's the key to building the winning team, how do we, if those are the keys to a winning team, how do we start building that team? Because many people say, I can't find good people. So now we're going to talk about finding, hiring, and retaining a great team. So the first question around this is, when is it time to recruit? So going back to the first video, step 1 mastery, time mastery. We need to do some task and time analysis. So what is there work that you need to take off your plate or to take off other members of your team's plate? So first thing we have to ask is, what is our time worth? Put an hourly rate on your time. If you have too much to do, if you're doing stuff that is below your hourly rate, if your time is worth $100 an hour and you're doing work that's worth $20 an hour, we got to take that off your plate. So think about what your time is worth. Then we also look at, is this a spike in activity that's going to be here for a period of time and then go away next week or in 2 weeks? Or is this permanent demand that we need to staff for? If it is permanent demand, then we need to fill that position. Different ways that you can fill that position. You could, in a trades business, you could bring on an apprentice. You could outsource it and have a subcontractor do it, or you may hire a full-time W-2 employee to do it. So if it is time to find that full-time employee, now that's where we talk about finding the right team. So finding the right team, it is a marketing challenge. So just like you market to attract new customers, you've got to market to attract new members onto your team. As I said, many people, they want to work for a business with a purpose. So you need to be clear on your vision, your mission, and your culture. If you're not, get clear on that. Once you've got that, you're going to need to put that into your job descriptions to market to the people. So market to those prospects to be the next candidates for your business. The other thing is skills versus attitude. So a lot of people, old way of thinking was hire for skill. All right, look at the resume, make sure they got the right skill. And then they come in, they've got a bad attitude, and then we fire them for a bad attitude. So we've got to flip that around. We got to make sure we're screening for attitude first. Find the right personality traits that you want on your team. We can train them for the skill, because when we have great systems in place, we can train people to operate our systems. The next question is about, where are you fishing for these people? And you may be out fishing on the vast ocean of Indeed, and that's fine if you are in that place. I'm not saying that's the wrong place, but if you are there, you need to stand out. All right. And the question is, how are you standing out? I would hazard to guess being clear and talking up front about your vision, mission, and purpose. A lot of people are not talking about that. So that is one way to stand out. But you also need to think about, what other ways do we stand out a bit as a business that make us unique and that would attract candidates to our business. So make sure you're clear on how you stand out. The last piece about finding the right team is deselection versus selection. So in a selection process, the onus is on you to decide to select who makes it to the next step of that process. With a deselection process, we've got a hiring funnel. The candidate, opts out of taking that next step. So we help people define that deselection criteria. So people decide themselves, I don't think I want to take the next step in the hiring process, and they opt out. So we will help you define your deselection process so that it takes less time for you to get great candidates at the end of that funnel. So first step, finding, it's marketing. Hiring the right people, it is about selling. So again, I'm talking about this hiring funnel. So as people work their way, deselect themselves through that process, through that hiring funnel, first thing about this is also benchmarking. So what are other companies doing in terms of hiring and getting people, candidates, to convert and sign on? A lot of that, you're going to have to, definitely in this market, wages and compensation have changed. So you're going to have to benchmark against that. But what are other people doing in terms of hiring? Benchmark other businesses. Think about incentives. So what we call critical non-essentials. So these things, you may not think of including these things in your job posting, but maybe somebody needs extra time off from work, and they're willing to take it unpaid because they have to take care of a sick family member. But a lot of this is about asking people, what will it take for you to join here? And maybe they have special circumstances that you can accommodate. But think about other incentives to attract these candidates. The other thing to think about is employee acquisition cost. And this is where we're thinking about, what is it costing you not to fill this position this week or this month? So we've talked in a used example of plumbers before, but if you've got 5 trucks on the road, you lose a plumber, now you have 4 trucks on the road. What's it costing you not to have that 5th truck on the road each and every week? Is it costing you $5,000 in profit every week? When you think about that and calculate that cost of what it's costing you not to fill that position, that starts to change the calculus in terms of what you're willing to offer to fill that position sooner. Not necessarily in base wages in salary, but it may be in terms of a sign-on bonus. So if it's costing you $5,000 a week to fill that, would you offer a $5,000 sign-on bonus to fill that position a week or 2 sooner? Absolutely. So do that calculation, and that changes the math in terms of what you're willing to offer to get that position filled sooner. At the end, to convert, so you've got this candidate down here that you want to convert. At the end of it, you need to be a great boss and a great business. If you're not clear on why you're a great boss and a great business, get clear on that, because you'll have to explain that to that candidate in order to convert them to be your next great employee. So you've been successful. You've got that candidate to sign on. Now you need to keep them. So retaining the right team, you got to have a program and a system around retention. So again, benchmark against the best. It's not saying you got to have beanbag chairs and foosball tables, but maybe you want to, all right, like Google. So think about what are other businesses doing to keep people. So benchmark around it. One thing is having stay interviews. So this could be going to people who've been with you for a long period of time. Ask them why they've stayed with you so long. For brand new employees, have a stay interview. What will it take for you to stay here and build a career with our business? So have stay interviews with people. That's really powerful. You'll definitely get some key takeaways from having those interviews. I would hazard to guess that growth and development will be a key part of keeping somebody there. So I do believe most human beings want to grow and develop throughout their lifetime. Give them a chance to do that in your business. So I listed here in retention, but talking about growth and development will be important in terms of the first step of marketing. So in that job posting, talking about growth and development tracks. In that conversion process, the selling, you will need to talk to them. Hey, we're going to bring you in here for this position, but then there's going to be opportunities to learn, grow, and develop, and potentially move into these other positions. You'll need to talk about that in that selling phase. But I listed here in retention because this is when you need to deliver on that promise. So have a growth and development plan for each and every employee. Fifth thing is retention incentives. So definitely talk about doing merit increases. So talk about how and when and how frequently you do performance reviews, and how you hand out merit increases. So if somebody has hit their KPIs for their position, what type of salary increase, merit increase pool is available each year? So that's kind of the base level merit increases. Next could be some kind of performance bonus. So if somebody exceeds their KPIs, what kind of bonus is open to them? Above that bonus pool, another program could be profit sharing. So when the business does well, everybody shares in that success. And then kind of at the top of those retention incentives is giving people some equity stake in the business. And it's not saying they have to become a 50-50 partner in the business, but let them have some equity stake so that they feel ownership in the business and they operate with an owner mindset in the business. Then last, certainly not least, is about engaging and empowering your team. So I do believe also that people want to have control of their own destiny. So engage them, get their ideas about how they can make the business better, and then with their good ideas, empower them to take action. All right, then they have control of their own destiny. They're acting like an owner to move the business to the next level. So those are the key components of having a good retention system to keep your people. So now we are up to steps 5 and 6, which is synergy and results. And so this is growth and then freedom. So that freedom stage is you've built this great business, and now you want to take it even bigger. All right, maybe open up additional locations. And then at the top, that's results. And that's where you've got the freedom because you built this commercial profitable enterprise that works without you. All right. Do you want to have passive income off the business? Do you want to sell it and exit? Those are some different questions you can answer for yourself. That is also a whole separate masterclass that we can run on succession and exit. So that is for a different time, not for this video today. So I'm going to wind us back and kind of bring us back home and get us to closure here. So quoting Jim Rohn. So Jim Rohn, business guru, he was an early mentor of Action Coach's founder, Brad Sugars. So a famous quote from him was, never wish life were easier, wish that you were better. So work harder on yourself than you do on your job or your business. All right. So coaching and growing your business, it's all about personal development first. So if you want your business to grow, you need to grow. So work hard on yourself. So briefly, who do we work with? We work with all types of businesses. At the end of the day, that we are business agnostic because what we just took you through applies to every business. But who we have found that we work with, some niches that have developed for us, people that are in the profession. So attorneys, accounting firms, financial planners. We work with trades, contractors, electricians, plumbers, HVAC. We work in the real estate space. So real estate brokers. We work with architects, designers. We work in the retail space, restaurants and hospitalities, IT, telecom, digital marketing, and then my own background, manufacturing. So those are just some of the niches that have developed for us. How do we work with people? So we've got different types of coaching programs. And as you can see from our pyramid here, we've got some slower paced programs at the bottom, that things like Profit Club that meets twice a month. We've got a Growth Club that is a full day planning workshop that we do once a quarter. We got Action Club, 10X Business Boot Camp. It covers all of the fundamentals that every business owner needs to operate their business efficiently, effectively, to build that successful business. We've got Mentor Club, which is a bridge of group coaching into one-on-one coaching. And then we've got one-on-one coaching, which is the fastest, most customized program to help business owners get to their goals and achieve their goals faster. So again, it's all about how fast you want to go. In addition, we do things like strategic planning. We do executive coaching for public companies where we're working with executives. We work on succession and exit planning. And then Seminar Club is things like team building workshops, culture development workshops, time mastery workshops. Those are things that we run out as well, in addition to our base coaching programs. So now, wrapping this up, you're in one of two places. So if you've watched all three of those videos, you could either be in the place where you're like, hey, I've learned a lot. Thank you for these videos. I'm going to do it myself. And that's fine if you want to do that. But I've got a question for you. If you were going to do it yourself, why haven't you done it already? So that may put you in the second place where you want to learn the shortcuts to building a better business faster. And we've got the shortcuts. We've done the learning. There's a lot of learning to build a successful business. We've done 31 years of learning to make it easier for you. All right. If you're in that place, you could book a 90-minute business strategy session with us. If you're watching these videos because you've already booked a strategy session, get ready because we're going to show you those shortcuts. But if you're watching these on our website and you're interested in learning more about how to apply this to your business and learn those shortcuts, book a call with us at acadia.actioncoach.com and we will show you the path. So thank you for watching. I hope you've got a ton of learning. I hope you've taken some great notes. So if you're on that do-it-yourself path, that's fine. If you want to learn more, book a call with us. Have a great day.